Hey guys, welcome to Andertons TV. I'm Chris. I'm here with,
I'm Gannon.
yeah, Gannon. What do you do at Universal Audio?
I am a product manager.
Awesome. And we are here at Lyndhurst Studios. What an amazing day it's been.
Oh
It's
my gosh.
been so fun. We've had Two Door Cinema Club. We've had a symphony orchestra. As well as a couple of familiar faces going around as well, which is really nice to see. Some big guys. I saw Andrew Sheps and Chad Blake.
Chad Blake,
Crazy
Tony,
stuff.
yeah, Tony Platt.
Tony Platt,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
But really, we're here because you guys have released the new Apollo series, your Apollo X, right?
Apollo X, exactly. Yeah.
So, get me started on this. So,
Okay.
how did this whole, because obviously we've started from the previous. This is your third gen Apollo series.
That's right.
What's new, I guess, from this X series as opposed to the previous series?
Right. Well, pretty much everything. I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of a challenge when you are, bringing in new products with the same product name. So, this is the third iteration of the Apollos. So we really didn't want to just add a little bit of benefit here, a little bit more here. We went right down to the bottom, and we worked on the A to D and the D to A, the clocking.
Yeah.
We've added more DSP in each unit, so each unit now has 6 DSPs. We've added a talkback mic to all the rack mount units. Coming this fall, and actually very shortly, we're going to have surround sound monitoring.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're reaching for another market as well. We added plus 24 dBu operating level, which
Yeah.
gives us better integration with big consoles like this and tape machines and stuff. So really, we've addressed pretty much every area and redesigned every area of the Apollo.
Yeah.
And so we've added another unit as well. In the previous generations of Apollos, we've
That's
had
right,
the
yeah.
Apollo 8, the 8P, and the 16. In the Apollo X series, we have a new unit called the Apollo X6. It's the lowest price unit that we have, and for under $2,000 US, you can get into the Apollo X series. It has 2 unison mic preamps, but it still has the full complement of DSPs, 6 DSPs,
Yeah.
and all the digital I/O and everything. So it's really we're trying to increase the amount of DSP so that your purchase decision is not so much geared upon all of these things. It's more, okay, I've got the 6 DSPs. Now what do I need for I/O?
Exactly.
So it helps people, figure out what they need. The gentleman we were just speaking to, I layer up orchestral arrangements, but I do it 2 tracks at a time.
Exactly.
What do I need? You need an X6 rather. So
Yeah.
that's the way, that was an easy thing to talk about, is that if you're going to just layer up synths, perfect.
So all the X series come with just one standard DSP. You can't get more or less.
That's right.
Fair.
You can
Okay.
add more DSP with a satellite.
Yes, of
so
course.
it's mixing DSP.
Get 4 or 8.
Yep, 4
right?
or 8. Yep, exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah. And these can also be integrated with existing Apollos. So our Thunderbolt 2 Apollos,
Okay.
you just need the that little adapter that Apple makes. It's a
Yeah.
Thunderbolt 3 to Thunderbolt adapter. It's bidirectional.
So I was gonna say because normally they have the daisy chain on the back, so you can
Yep.
connect one device to another and have them all working in sync. So does that mean that you can use, I guess, Thunderbolt 2 onto Thunderbolt 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can use it both ways.
Both ways, and it doesn't matter which order. If you have a earlier generation Apollo and you add an Apollo X to it, you probably want to put your Apollo X first because the conversion is better. The A to D is better. So you want to probably use that as your monitor unit,
Yeah.
and then convert Thunderbolt 3 to Thunderbolt 2 and jump to your other Apollo. As a matter, one of the really cool setups is having a rack of Apollos and then adding an Apollo Twin Mark II to it, so you can.
That's basically my setup.
Yeah,
so I know the workflow very well.
Yeah, so you got your talkback there, because these all have talkback now. So
Yeah.
it's the same routable thing. New filters on this; they sound really good.
Okay.
Yeah, and but you can put have the Twin be your remote talkback, remote volume control, and it will work with our surround setup as well. So
nice.
yeah, it's going to be very cool.
So does it have talkback button, or you just assign the function button?
It's a function button, same thing. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I mean, like I said earlier, most of my questions had been answered throughout this day of the tour, so I'm pretty lost for words right now. But thank you for sitting and having this interview.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Great time, a great day. Really enjoyed the experience. It was lovely seeing Two-Door Cinema Club and the symphony and the whole thing. Hopefully it shows off well in the video, and hopefully everyone else enjoys it as much as I did.
All I can say, if I had one more thing to say,
go for it.
Please listen to them. Get yourself in front of them, and
that's so true.
You know, experience what we did today. Listen to the band tracking, listening to the orchestra. All of these things felt so rich and so, you know, so present.
Yeah.
I was just really pleased with it. And of course, we've done gobs and gobs of listening tests, but it's so gratifying to, you know, be in a session, people pounding on the drums and playing, and it just sounded fantastic.
Yeah,
and
especially in a space like this, a space that's so renowned for orchestral recordings and, you know, big sound. It's really shows off the technology in the Apollos.
Yeah, right on. All right, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Okay, you're welcome.
I mean, it's just such a thrill to be here at Air Studios, the absolute cream of the crop. What you're going to see today is the latest generation Apollo. It's the third generation, and each time we've made it better, and we think this is our best sounding product ever. What you're going to see today are 3 different stations, and you're going to see a song kind of from ideation and how Apollo and its real-time workflow can be used to just get some ideas, some scratch tracks, move on to a tracking and an overdub session. And again, you'll see again around Apollo how we can get to the creative experience without getting in the way of it.
Take a seat on the couch. Make yourself comfortable.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. Hey, how you doing? Ça va? Super. Hi. I'm Fab. Also, you have to understand, in case you haven't been paying attention, that I'm processing in real time on the way in. Yes, but I also can process everything in my DAW using the same plugins, using the same DSP. The latency is really low because the driver is crazy efficient, and I'm running at 32 samples. So I can actually I can create a bass, play, and even put a UAD plugin on it from the DAW and still play. It's crazy just how efficient it is. It's very important because there's no more demos. Demos are gone. The time where you would record the stuff in your bedroom with I don't know, an inbox, and your teeth would hurt for the sound of it, and then you tell you, that's okay, we'll replace it later. That's gone. You record something, this may be your final record. And so you have to capture everything with world-class quality right from the beginning. It's a beautiful thing. It really is a beautiful thing.
Sorry? Well, that's what happens when you look this good. Exactly.
I did already.
Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody, and that was your first experience with a band tracking an Apollo X. So hopefully you can hear what we're hearing. What we're so excited about this. This is it's a we're doing an interesting workflow with this, where we're doing all of the processing, all the input side processing in console. Console's muted. So we're not listening to console, we're sending it directly to Logic, and then we're monitoring back through Logic. And we're able to do that. Our driver is super efficient, so we're listening to all these tracks at a 32 sample buffer. And we, you know, as we've been accumulating tracks, we've had up to, you know, over 100 tracks playing back at 32 samples, and Logic not even coughing at all. But we have a ton of processing going on here. We have 4 Apollo X's there. There's 3 8Ps, so 24 preamps in those, plus an 8. So there's another 4 preamps there, plus some line inputs. So we've got a full 32 channels of audio input there, of analog audio, and we're using all of that. We have unison mic preamps on every channel, so we've got a bunch of 1073s and a bunch of 610s going on. And then other processing, EQs, compressors, limiters, We're running, another way to use this is we're using virtual channels to use our reverbs in real time. So the way Jackknife likes to work is kind of build the mix as he's recording. So you don't want to go backward and have to recreate a reverb. You can use, some of the stock Logic reverbs, and they don't use. But if you want to use, one of our reverbs and work towards your mix, you can do that by sending a send back to our console via a virtual channel, running the reverb in real time, and then it doesn't mute. So that's kind of a handy workflow that supports the way.
Well, I've gotten so used to the other way that when you're saying it, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That you get used to a limp or something. You just get used to it. So I've been using native Logic plugins for recording, and then when I'm mixing, when I switch to mixing, I know I'm going to use the EMT plugin, whatever.
Yeah.
So, but now today, or when we started yesterday, realized we can actually listen to what the intended plugin will be, which is exciting for me. Yeah. Also delays and things like that, And then I like to do a lot of bus processing, so using limiters and compressors and drums. But when I go engage recording, that gets disabled, so it sounds different. Playback to recording is always different, but now it's not.
Yeah. This is the thing I respect and have learned a lot about watching you work, is it's all about speed. It's all about workflow and having something that doesn't get in your way. And I think doing it this way, where you're committing, you're getting sounds as you would, but you're always working toward that mix, and you're not afraid to print your effects and afraid to print your preamps. The Apollo X story, the three things to take away are sound quality, real-time UAD processing and unison plugins, and workflow. However you want to work, we can support that. And whatever you're after, I think the sound speaks for itself. Hopefully you guys will agree with me. That sounds pretty darn good. So I can't wait for you guys to get in front of it yourself, into material that and get a chance to listen to them, because they're pretty exciting, and we're really happy about it. So thanks for coming, and we have 1 minute to go from this studio to the orchestra recording. So this is going to be really fun.
So this is the London Metropolitan Orchestra. Please enjoy. There you go.
I don't think I've ever been in a position to ask an audience what they think when the producer, the band, and the arranger are sat in the room at the same time. It's like the craziest feedback session you'll ever have. So what did you think? You like it? There you go. And the same.
It's great.
Yeah. So what's crazy about the sound of that, for all of you guys who might be wondering, is it's completely flat. So there's 50 mics out there getting bussed down. There's not a single piece of EQ on the console, not even a high-pass filter. And it goes straight from the remote Neve mic pre's, the Air Montserrat mic pre's in the room, which is the shortest signal path from mic to preamp, through the console and into our brand new flagship X16 interface, which is, providing incredible dynamic range and capture of the stereo image and all the details of the orchestra. So you're not hearing any console processing. That's effectively the opposite end of recording to what you've seen with Fab and Gannon and Jackknife today. Is starting with the creation and unison and the vintage vibe and the things that we're really known for at UA, and now showing you how to drop our Apollo rig straight into a high-end recording situation and just capture flat. I mean, that's a completely flat tracking playback balance that you've just heard. It's insane, isn't it? Really, it's pretty insane. A question for you, Bill, actually. Does it take you back? I mean, this is kind of like the founding years of Universal Audio, right? Recording.
Yeah, I mean, there's the sound of like the mics coming up on the bus when there's an orchestra or a big band in there, just even the incidental noise, and then that first note, you know, in a good room. Like my dad didn't have rooms this big by any means, but they sounded fantastic. So it absolutely takes me back. It feels like, you know, when I grew up, and
Really?
I think I got lucky just hearing good sound early. It kind of made an imprint, you know. And so
formative years.
being in a studio and hearing an orchestra is just, yeah, it totally takes me back. So
Amazing, yeah.
I'm gonna
Great. It's great to have you here, yeah, it's amazing. And that's the beauty of coming somewhere like Lyndhurst, you know, it's a recording legacy. And we've just captured it with Apollo X. Every room, pretty much.
yeah. You know, what I liked, I enjoyed my day to day, and what I liked is, you know, we talk about gear, but there was a lot of music, right? And so at the end of the day, it's about the music, and it just shows, you know, hey, when you have good music, good talent, a good room, and you know, stuff can sound really inspiring. It was very emotive, extremely.
Yeah, it's been amazing. So there you go. So thanks to all the guys from Air as well, I think, for arranging all the mics and being great to support all the rooms and the guys from the band hanging out, performing, and the producers and everyone. It's been great.